Yes, this is DJ Ski.
I'm Jeff Wilson.
Hey guys, Andy Broom, Vice President of CGC Cards.
Hey, this is Jason Howarth with Panini.
Yo, I'm Q Harrison.
Hey gang, this is Tom Verrilli. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Whatnot.
This is Teapot from Sports Card Investor.
This is Adam Rips with V-Friends.
What's up? This is Aaron from Slab Stocks.
Hey, this is Clark from 5 Card Guys and the Cards to the Moon podcast.
Hey guys, this is Jay with Wild Card.
What's up everyone? This is Duke Dodson from Graybows.
What's up everybody? This is Chris Kelsey from Nash Cards.
What's up everyone? This is Mark Hill from My Card Post.
This is Ray Schulte.
This is Chase Krim.
This is Cody from Texas Roadshow Shop.
This is Mark Aaron from WSB Radio in Atlanta, and you're listening to the Sports Card Strategy Show.
I'm loving the content.
Loving the content here.
I'm loving the content here on the Sports Card Strategy Show.
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 And I'm telling you, the Sports Card Strategy Show.
This is the Sports Card Strategy Show with your man, Paul Hickey. What's good?
Be sure to subscribe for year-round advice on keeping your portfolio up to date.
Part of the NoOffSeason.com Sports Card Network, the #1 place for advice on how to make money flipping sports cards. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, there is no off-season.
There is no off-season.
There is no off-season.
And there's no off-season.
You already know, there is no off-season.
No off-season!
All right, you ready to rock?
Ready to go.
When you get into this game, the reason why you pay someone like Paul Hickey to get your sports card strategy together is because sometimes when you're starting out, you need perspective, you need wisdom, you need insights. And so he's been around the track enough times where he can actually coach you up and guide you. Doesn't mean he's going to take you to the promised land tomorrow, but you now have a coach by your side that can advise and kind of even create these pathways where you can get the education yourself. And that's a lot better than thugging it out on your own. Thugging it out on your own.
The kids better buy my rookie card now, because after this year, the price ain't coming down.
Welcome in, everybody. I'm your host, Paul Hickey. It's time to sit back, listen, learn, and earn with me on the Sports Card Strategy Show. Are you ready to start grading your cards? CGC Cards is the perfect place to slab your favorite sports cards. From their crystal clear holders to their affordable pricing, CGC Cards is the perfect stop. For your grading needs, go to cgccards.com to start grading today. And don't forget, if you're a premium member at nooffseason.com, remember that you can ask the grader, and our guy Andy Broom, the VP of CGC Cards, will answer your question on our premium pod. If you're not a member of nooffseason.com, you got to get over to nooffseason.com right now. Sign up for a free 30-day trial. There's only about a week left of our special pricing for 2025. So get your free 30-day trial. Get that free trial, not only the trial, but the special pricing for 2025. We want you to save money so that you can make more money flipping sports cards. You can also text sports cards to 1-833-992-5727 to join our free email list. That's sports cards. Text it to 1-833-992-5727 to join our free email list. We want you part of the nooffseason.com fam, whether you're a longtime listener of the Sports Card Strategy Show or a new listener of the Sports Card Strategy Show. Welcome in. It's almost Christmas. It's Monday, December 23rd. Happy holidays to all of you. Whatever holidays you celebrate in your life, happy holidays to you and yours. I am Paul Hickey of nooffseason.com. And today we are going to review some of our top nooffseason.com member success stories of 2025. There's some learning in there. I'm going to talk about the fact that, look, we don't always win, but we use data to understand what works best, what doesn't work, what didn't work as well as we thought it might, and how to prevent making the same mistakes over and over again, and how to go back to what's working and continue to make money. So we're going to get to that. And we're going to look at some data. I love to look at data. And we're going to look at some from our friends at Whatnot. Now, we'll talk about Whatnot as a platform a little bit, just to clarify some things, because I don't recommend necessarily that people just start going to Whatnot and buying cards. It is something we've talked about on the show. I prefer, if you're looking to make money flipping sports cards, eBay auctions is the way to go for several reasons. We talk about that a lot in Sports Card School at nooffseason.com. So if you're new to the game, or if you just want to fine tune your skills, go to nooffseason.com, check out Sports Card School. There's a lot there for all levels of the hobby. But Whatnot, my friend Liz, who's the one of the top people over at Whatnot in terms of communications and marketing, she sent over some data, because Whatnot hasn't necessarily been known for their ability to gather data, just the way their platform has been set up. It's typically eBay that is better at, going and analyzing data. But thanks to Liz over at Whatnot, I've got some great data about the hobby that I think it's important to talk about. So we'll talk about that. And speaking of data, however you say it, data, doesn't matter. Analytics, all the same thing. I put out an episode of the Sports Card Strategy Show 2 months ago. 2 months ago. I wanted to do it a little early. In my mind, 2025 as a sports card strategy flipper started in November 1st. So the last few days of October, on October 29th to be exact, I put out an episode called What Has Worked Best in 2024? How Can We Learn from Data? And I would highly recommend all of you to go back and listen to that episode on Apple, Spotify, youtube.com/Paul Hickey, wherever you get your Sports Card Strategy Show. We're everywhere. Go check it out. And you'll see that there's a lot that didn't work very well. And that I tried a lot of stuff in 2024. 2024, easily my most successful year as a sports card flipper. The first year that I left my full-time job and became a flipper and running nooffseason.com full-time as my full-time job. Excited about that. It had been, I would say, a full-time job, but not my only source of income for the previous 4 or 5 years. However, now it's my only source of income. And so I'm putting that much more into it. So I wanted to understand, what should my strategy be for 2025? And so I analyzed what worked best and what did not work at all, really, in 2024, and anticipated what would be happening in 2025. And from there came up with a strategy of only allowing myself, boxing myself in to buying 5 players in 2025. Now, again, in my mind, 2025 started on November 1st, 2024. It's a 14-month year for me, 2025. So I'm allowing myself to buy 5 players. That was my way of narrowing my focus, which it's something I talk about a lot in Sports Card School, is how to narrow your focus. Limiting yourself to only buying 5 players is not for everybody, but it was for me. And I believe I've started off successful so far. We'll talk more about that on next week's episode with Lefty McKee as we go through the plays that we're making heading into January 2025. So stay tuned for that episode right after Christmas, a week from today. So that'll be Monday, December 30th. We're going to go every Monday in 2025. So stay tuned for that. We'll have some other bonus episodes, other bonus free episodes of the Sports Card Strategy Show in addition to the Monday episodes. So hopefully we'll catch everybody all the time. And then for those premium members at nooffseason.com, there'll be every Friday, the premium pod. So if you want a second dose of the Sports Card Strategy Show, again, go get that free 30-day trial at nooffseason.com. But not everything works. And so, we talk a lot about that. We talk a lot about our L's, how to learn from our L's. So if you're new to the show, stay tuned for that and go back and listen to that October 29th episode. Treat yourself to binging the Sports Card Strategy Show over Christmas, and we'll see you again on December 30th. Okay, let's get into, before we get into the success stories that I'm pulling from our premium members only Discord, let's talk about some of this data that Liz sent over to me. I think it's cool. First, looking at WNBA data. WNBA data hasn't necessarily been something that's been prevalent in the hobby. It's been more anecdotal. Caitlin Clark, a lot of people prospecting on Juju Watkins, a lot of people prospecting on Paige Beckers, because of Caitlin Clark. And I've been pretty outspoken about how I think that could be a dangerous, slippery slope, not to necessarily get too deep into WNBA prospecting. We know Paige Beckers and Juju Watkins are in college. I get that. But I think there's a lot of people that are also buying a ton of other WNBA cards. And because Caitlin Clark has opened up so much interest in the women's game, I think naturally it's going to make sense that people are tempted to buy WNBA cards and women's basketball prospects out of college. We saw it happen with F1 cards, where Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen cards were going nuts, and then everybody started prospecting on all the other drivers. We've seen it happen in golf. We've seen it happen in, a lot of other areas of the hobby where one thing pops off and then a lot of people want to prospect on things that are maybe the next version of that thing. So let's talk about Caitlin Clark. Her demand, according to Liz over at Whatnot, increased by 2,400%. This is on Whatnot only. And WNBA searches increased by 870% in 2024 versus 2023. So year over year, WNBA searches were up 870%. So this is significant for sure. WNBA autographed cards saw a 2x in demand. Collectors were looking for WNBA signatures of the league's emerging icons. 3 young stars stood out in Whatnot searches on the men's side of things. Not just basketball, but we'll talk about baseball, basketball, and football here. Paul Skeens, his demand was up, get this, 230,000%. So the amount of Paul Skeens searches increased 230,000%. And I guess that makes sense if you're looking year over year, because in 2023, not a lot of people were searching for Paul Skeens. So I guess that makes sense. Victor Wembanyama's search queries were up by 770%. So not surprised there either. And Jordan Love, this is the one that, might be a little bit surprising. Jordan Love, his searches rose by 200%. So that's some player data. Now, 3 other bullet points from Liz over at Whatnot in terms of what types of cards people were searching for on Whatnot. Kabooms doubled in searches. And I was pretty outspoken in 2024 about kabooms. There were a lot of kaboom plays that I made that I was very successful on. Kabooms, if you buy them for the right player in an auction and you have specific intent about your exit strategy, meaning maybe you're going to grade it. Not the 2023 kabooms, because those had a horrible gem rate, but kabooms prior to 2023, maybe you're going to grade them. And then your exit strategy is going to be to flip them from raw to grade. Maybe you're just going to buy them in an auction at a time period where it makes sense to buy that particular player for that particular sport, because maybe their pricing's down. It could be a month where people aren't showing as much interest. For example, I bought Najee Harris, Kenneth Walker III, Drake London kabooms, all in January after all of their teams were eliminated from playoff contention. And then I flipped them in May when they had a lot more interest in them. So kabooms are a good example of what people are searching for on Whatnot. Golf collectibles. We don't talk a whole lot of golf, but we do mention plays related to big tournaments like the Masters, the US Open, the Open. And we've even talked about timing the market with some of the guys like Scotty Scheffler, Bryson DeChambeau, Tiger. Charlie Woods had his first card come out not too long ago. We talk about SI for kids cards because Upper Deck, unfortunately, doesn't do a phenomenal job putting out releases. We obviously had Prism Live Golf launched this past year. Golf collectibles searches rose by over 30%. reflecting an expanding interest beyond the traditional powerhouses of team sports. Well written there by Liz. And then tennis card demand, something that our very own Lefty McKee has talked a lot about on the Sports Card Strategy Show. Lefty will be excited to learn that tennis card demand jumped 200%. According to Liz at Whatnot, turning a formerly niche category into a new terrain for passionate sports card explorers. So I've talked about Whatnot before. I think they've done, we've had people from Whatnot on the show. I think overall they've done a better job to appeal to strategic sports card flippers like the audience of the Sports Card Strategy Show, who are looking to make fiscally sound and responsible decisions. But I think for the most part, Whatnot is still sort of a wasteland of breaking and people just selling their crap. So I want everybody to be very, very careful about Whatnot. We've removed Whatnot from Sports Card School just because it's just not, even though they added auctions this past year and they've improved overall as a platform, I think generally for the most part, it's been more difficult to make money buying and flipping on Whatnot. And I think there's the search capabilities. It's like you can't necessarily search for a particular card. If you're looking for an auction, right? I think it's not. Here's what it boils down to also. It's not as efficient as eBay, right? We value efficiency at nooffseason.com. We value efficiency here at the Sports Card Strategy Show. You can only really make money at scale as a sports card flipper if you're super efficient. And Whatnot is not efficient. It is a time suck. Yes, it could be great entertainment if you like that kind of thing. And I know a lot of you do, and that's totally fine. And I'm not dogging Whatnot. I'm giving them some love on today's show because we don't really talk about them a lot. But I think what happens is when I give love on this show, sometimes that misleads a lot of people. Sometimes people think, oh, well, Paul's saying go buy a bunch of stuff on Whatnot. No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. Okay. If anybody has specific questions about Whatnot, go to nooffseason.com/ask. I'm happy to answer on the premium pod. Thanks again to Liz and everybody at Whatnot for this great data. I do believe it is very, very helpful. So let's talk about real quick, again, before we get into some of these success stories from our premium member Discord at nooffseason.com. That's one of the benefits that you can add on to your premium membership is a Discord community where it's very, very positive and, people are extremely helpful. I would say that it's an extension of the analysis and the help that you get from myself and our other analysts at nooffseason.com. And they're doing a great job. Everybody on our Discord, adding value to the community. So we'll get to that in a second. But one thing that one of our premium members emailed me the other day is hey, Paul, you give away so much great information on the Sports Card Strategy Show. Be careful not to give away all the best information and save the best for the premium members. And I get that. And I intend to do that in 2025. However, I do want to give away one more piece of phenomenal free advice to help you make money flipping sports cards right now. And don't worry, premium members, because listen, you've already heard me say this many, many times way before the Sports Card Strategy Show audience has heard me say it. So I'm going to say it one more time because I want to be on record to the public, to the masses. I want to be on record. I want to be historically correct. In May and June this year, I want to be able to look back and be like, wow, Paul was right. This card that he talked about right before Christmas on December 23rd did go up in value quite a bit several times. And that is Victor Wembanyama's 2023 Prism Silver PSA 10. Okay, this is a phenomenal card. I am currently holding about 4 of these, and I intend to buy more. I intend to potentially buy more today, right after I'm done with this show. And here's why. The current average sale price of this card in the last 30 days is $705. I'm sorry, it's actually $691. It's actually $691. The last sale was yesterday at $705. And over the last 14 days, this card's up 8.3%. And I think there's probably going to be some auctions that end where you can get this maybe cheaper than $700. But I do think it's probably on the rise. I think we're going to see this card most likely over the next 6 months steadily rise in value. I don't think we'll see it spike necessarily until maybe May, but I do believe it will spike at one point. And when it does spike, you'll see multiple sales over $1,000. You may even see multiple sales up close to $2,000. Right now, at $700, this card is the card to buy. For any of you who are patient and have the money and are willing to wait, this card is a great investment. Over the next 6 to 12 months, you will be happy that you bought this card in December. Buy yourself a Christmas gift. Buy your friend a Christmas gift. Spend $700 on a Victor Wembanyama 2023 Prism Silver PSA 10. It's just over a pop 4,000. The pop count could grow, but for the most part, it's plateaued because it's been on the market for almost a year. And yes, there will be several more of these graded. However, Victor Wembanyama is starting to dominate. We're about to see him on Christmas Day. Some of you might be listening to this right after Christmas Day because I'm speaking to you right now on Monday, December 23rd. And I'm flag planting. Victor Wembanyama is going to continue to dominate the NBA. We're going to see him bulk up. He's going to start to look more like Giannis over the next couple of years. I don't think you need to hold this card for a couple of years. I think you can flip this card several times over and over again over the next couple of years. But I think this is the card. This is the card. I've already told premium members about it a lot. It's in our formula-based sports card rankings. We've updated our formula-based sports card rankings thanks to Jake in the lab quite a bit over the last week. We've got new raw to grade rankings. We've got new already graded rankings, and we've got new graded to raw rankings. So thanks, Jake. Everybody, Victor Wembanyama. His other cards that are up right now include his 2023 Crown Royale Kaboom. PSA 7 is up $570. His 2023 Noir Rookies Association Edition Gold out of 10 Raw is up $360. His Raw Kaboom Crown Royale 2023 is up $343. So it's up almost half as much, or just over half as much, rather, as the PSA 7. PSA 7 is going to be one of the higher grades of that card, by the way, because it's just horrible quality control this year. His 2023 Topps Mercury Autographs Refractor out of 99 PSA 8 is up $306. That's crazy. The dude, here's one. His 2023 Prism 136 Fast Break PSA 10 is up $68. His 2023 Select Concourse Light Blue out of 299 Raw is up $65. I mean, all kinds of Wembanyama cards right now up over $50. And I see that continuing to go up and to the right a lot. Not all of his cards. Definitely not all of his cards. You got to go to the sports card rankings at nooffseason.com. But Victor Wembanyama, again, he's one of my 5 players that I'm buying in 2025. There are 2 hall passes as well. Again, go back to that October 29th episode to figure out, what worked, what didn't work. And then the second week of December, I did an episode with Lefty, I believe around December 12th, that announced my 5 players that I'm buying in 2025. We'll talk more about that on next Monday's show. And in the meantime, go back and listen to that second week of December episode where I unveil the 5 players that I'm buying in 2025 and why Victor Wembanyama is one of them. We'll say hello to Nexon, Andrew McDade, Brandon Meisner, and Dead King in the live chat. Good to see all of you. A lot of people over on Instagram. Big Pat's Card Lab, Papa Wax Picker, All Grit Sports Cards, J Bab, McDade, P Figgy, Gavin Stitt, Tom Lecklider, The Grim Rips, Thomas McCauley, my guy. What's up, Thomas? Good to see you. JR Sports Cards 828. I mentioned not everything works. Not everything works. In fact, I tell everybody, and sometimes I probably don't say it enough on this show, but I'd say about 20% of the time you're going to hit. But you need to be in the game. You need to be in the flipping game. You need to be making the plays consistently that we talk about, that we talk about at nooffseason.com, on the premium pod, occasionally on this show. If you're making the plays and you're learning what plays to make, okay, you will win about 20% of the time. That means you're going to lose 80% of the time. But because you're making the right plays, your losses are going to be more like break evens. So that means that 80% of the time you're going to kind of break even. And the 20% of the time that you're going to hit you're going to be like, this is worth it. This is worth it. I get it now. I get it now. If you've been only doing this, if you've been doing this for less than a year, you're still an infant in the game. You got to stay in the game. You got to keep learning. If you've made some of these Panini instant plays that we've talked about, if you've made some of these Tops Now plays that we've talked about, and you've broken even, or you're like, man, should I get this card graded? Should I complete the play? Okay? It's good for you to complete the play. What's up, Daryl? And the Card Society in the house. Good to see you guys. Okay. Let's give some props to the premium members. Now, these premium members at nooffseason.com are in the Discord. They're the fortunate ones in the Discord. Now, how did they get in the Discord? What's this mystical Discord? Well, it's just an add-on to the premium package. It's like a bonus to the premium package. Anyone who accepted their invite, all premium members to nooffseason.com, prior to December 1st this year, anyone who's an active premium member got an invite to the premium member Discord, and it's been phenomenal. Props to Mosaic Joe, Farmer Mosaic Joe, Mofo Joe, as Lefty likes to call him, short for Mosaic Farmer Joe. And Joe is our sort of head of membership and membership retention at nooffseason.com, and he's been in the Discord working with everybody. It's been great. For anyone who is a newer member of nooffseason.com, aka didn't get in on the earlier package, but is a newer member and members moving forward, everyone gets member points that they can redeem. Every time that their membership renews, they get more member points. And so when you build up enough member points, you can buy your way into the premium Discord with your member points. We want people who want to be in there. There's other things you can buy with your member points. If you'd rather not be in the Discord, don't be in the Discord. But let's go to the Discord. Kevin A says, just wanted to post a quick, small, successful sell I was able to execute. I think it's cool to hear these plays because, like, some of them are not plays that we make. Like, some of them are plays that premium members decided to learn the strategies at Sports Card School and then make plays on their own. And I love it because it's inspirational. It inspires me. It inspires the rest of the community. And that's why I love our community at nooffseason.com. So Kevin A just wanted to post a small, successful sell I was able to execute. Thanks to Paul. Thanks for saying that, Kevin. I've learned a lot about the hobby, and now I understand selling markers I should look for. Boom. Yep. I just sold this Tommy DeVito. This was back, by the way. This was posted by Kevin on November 18th. So I'm going kind of back a little bit here to talk about some 2024 member success stories. And Tommy DeVito rookie Prism Silver Select Auto out of $399. And he sold it It says, I just sold this DeVito auto that only a week ago sold for less than $5. So he picked it up for less than $5, and then he flipped it for $29.99, and it's out of $399. So he made, so there's a lot of those kinds of plays that we all make in the nooffseason.com fam. And you don't necessarily, you're not always necessarily making hundreds of dollars on each play. That's the fun of it, is that like you can take a $5 card, flip it for 30. That's a big return. That's a big return on investment. Marty, the free old deal, gave him props for the backup QB strategy, because that's true. This was kind of born out of the backup QB strategy, which I talked a lot about. And Thugbird, I see you in the live chat. I'll get to your question here in a second, because it's about nooffseason.com. We'll get to that. Preston Shea, this is one I think I've called out earlier as a good one, but again, going back to 2024 and picking out some good ones, because one guy that was in it still is, but was in our formula-based sports card rankings at nooffseason.com. It's the only sports card rankings you can get anywhere that basically rank. They don't just tell, it's not like everyone else. Everyone else just says, oh, here's the hottest cards. No, we don't want to do that. We want to give you the cards that you can make money on. Travis Hunter, 2023 Bowman U Sapphire Edition, raw to grade. Preston Shea bought it under the target price which was under $10, graded through me at nooffseason.com. Yeah, we do that for premium members too. And he sold that card for $100. So that was a card that I graded for him at PSA. I shipped it back to him. He sold it for $100. Great work, Preston. Sean S. made a couple of great plays that he shared in the premium member Discord, where he sold JJ McCarthy 2024 retro blue shock super short print and a Drake May 2024 Donruss retro blue shock super short print. And he sold those within a day after he pulled them, and didn't say how much money he made, but said he did well. So good work there. And we've got a lot of other great success stories here in the premium member Discord. And let's share something from Chris L, because Chris L is, one of our frequent posters in the Discord. Shout out Chris L. And Chris L is giving kind of a public service announcement for Canadian members. We do actually have a lot of non-US members as well as US members. And the premium member Discord is a great way to, communicate and support. But we also give a lot of great advice in Sports Card School as to how to navigate things if you live outside the US. For all the Canadians on here, a potential lesson learned for all. Chris purchased the Jaden Daniels Hail Mary pass from Topps Now and pre-sold 3 PSA 10s. So he pre-sold PSA 10s, which honestly we say not to do. Maybe for this reason, I'm not sure. His product had not arrived, and it was on day 11 of the 5 to 15 day international shipping. He paid for the FedEx to ship internationally and finished with Topps Now support. They told him the product was held at the border and that his new tracking number is with Canada Post. Canada Post had been on strike at this point back in November when the item shipped. So when FedEx had it, basically he was kind of worried about how this shipment got passed from FedEx to Canada Post. And so he was concerned about this pre-selling of the PSA 10, maybe not getting the package. A lot of members chipped in and said, hey, look, we help you out as much as we possibly can. Topps' solution was to resolve it as quickly as possible, create a new order, or issue you a full refund. And Chris was trying to figure out, what to do from there. He decided to create a new order and ended up basically getting things resolved with the new order. So good work there, Chris. Chris, let us know, if you've gotten that order yet and if you've sent it into PSA. Terry Anderson submitted the 2024 Panini Instant WNBA Caitlin Clark. Got 28 10s and 3 9s after submitting the best 31 out of the 40 that he bought. So phenomenal gem rate. And I know from personal experience, my Caitlin Clark of that card have been selling for between $30 and $40 on eBay. And so that's not necessarily the profit that we hoped to get, but it is still profit. When you do the math, you're about, in the bulk grading, you're about $20 into each card. So you are still making a few dollars on each of those cards. Jason T bought a Cade Klubnik Bowman U auto out of $4.99 PSA 10 in October for $35. Listed him during the game, actually a couple of weeks ago, Clemson's game a couple of weeks ago on 12/8, and sold it in a buy it now for $99. Great move to list in a buy it now, right? At a selling marker, because sometimes the auction is the move, but sometimes the interest in the player diminishes towards the end of the auction if it isn't like a super, super top name player. So I like that strategy by Jason T. Good work. Okay. Chris L. Again had an update on the Caitlin Clark 198. And he graded 4 of them, got 2 9s, 2 10s, and sold them for $65 and $60 in the 10s and $45 and $45 in the 9s. That's outstanding. That's outstanding profit. And he did that via pre-selling. He did that via pre-selling the 9s and the 10s. And he comes back and also says he feels like he would have lost a little bit of money if he wouldn't have pre-sold. So interesting information there from Chris L on the pre-sale. Good to know. I mean, for those of you who aren't necessarily following this, basically what happens is Panini Instant and Topps now put out a lot of cards, right? And I should actually clarify right now. I want everybody to kind of cool down on buying these Panini Instant and Topps Now cards. But back in the fall, back in like late August through probably all the way through October, Lefty and I were recommending a lot of these, like for Jaden Daniels, Caitlin Clark, specifically Jaden Daniels and Caitlin Clark, that you go in on these in bulk, get them graded, flip them. And we did the same thing with Cooper Flag. So I think as a result, a lot of people made, they made like ancillary, plays like in and around these, because I think a lot of people felt like, oh, wow, these guys are talking a lot about Panini Instant and Topps Now. I really want to get in on some of that. It's got to still be the right card for the right player at the right time. And not all cards are. So we try to clarify that. But it's good to know, and timing is huge. Speed is huge on these. And that's why we recommend, like, look, complete the play. And so Chris not only completed the play, but he went ahead and did some pre-selling of some slabs. And nice to know that some of that's working out for Chris. Bo R, this is another good one. Travis Hunter, Bowman First Refractor Auto PSA 10. Sold it for $810 on December 14th. He had $90 in it, plus grading fees. This was timing the 10-day auction to end an hour after the Heisman ceremony. There's a lot in that. That's great. Mofo Joe, Mosaic Farmer Joe, came back and said he's got a Travis Hunter 2023 Bowman Chrome University 1955 gold refractor auto out of 50 and a PSA 9. And he changed it from a bin to an auction just before the Heisman announcement. It already had 9 bids and it was already over $130 with 6 days left. So quite a bit of good stuff there. Eric L had been flipping cards for 11 years, finally had the time to focus on it, discovered the Sports Card Strategy Show in the summer, signed up for the premium membership to see the sports card rankings, went deep on several of the raw to grade plays, profited on most of them, consumed all of Paul's content, and achieved an all-time 90-day high in sales on eBay. Over $60,000 for Eric L. in the last quarter. Well done. Great job. And a lot of other great things happening at nooffseason.com. But I wanted to give the premium member Discord more shout out in this episode as some of the top success stories from being a premium member of nooffseason.com in 2024. More to come in 2025. Let's go to the live chat. Thugbird says they are a new premium member and love the content. Thugbird had a question. Thank you, Thugbird. Thugbird also had a question about, let's see. I saw Thugbird. Oh, I thought it was Thugbird's question. I'll find it. Card Society's premium fam. And, okay, Thugbird, yeah. If I started my free 30-day trial before December 1st, am I going to get in the Discord? Yes, you will. Yes, you will. You'll get, Thugbird, when you get your automatic renewal, Mofo Joe will send you a link into the Discord. So great work. Yep, there it is. You got it, my man. All right. Instagram, JR Sports Cards 828, Tampa Cards and Graphs, 90s Inserts, Tommy Galliver, Rock Top Cards, Al6A Football. Shout out to all of you. Cody in the house on youtube.com/Paul Hickey. Just want to give everybody some live chat love. Thanks so much for joining me on the Sports Card Strategy Show. If today was the first time you were listening, just know that we're coming right back at you every Monday moving forward. Stay tuned for next Monday's show where Lefty McKee and I talk about what plays we're making in January. Happy holidays, everybody. And we'll see you again soon. Thanks so much for being here with us on the Sports Card Strategy Show. If you enjoyed the content on today's show, there's plenty more waiting for you at nooffseason.com. Just go to nooffseason.com right now and get a free 30-day trial. You get our formula-based sports card rankings, sports card school, inventory tracker, the ability to grade with us, and the premium podcast where we answer an unlimited amount of your questions. Check it out right now at nooffseason.com. For everyone at nooffseason.com, I'm Paul Hickey. Thanks again for being here with us on the Sports Card Strategy Show. We'll see you again soon. Have a great day.